It's Ken Kraetzer for Sons American Legion Radio. West Point, the Army football team heads out to Hawaii to take on the Rainbow Warriors Saturday night. A key game for Army to have a chance for a bowl bid. They have to win this game. It's going to be a tough game for them. Hawaii has won their last 3 games. They come off a win over San Diego State, 14-11. 8-4 on the season, and they've got a quarterback we saw here at Michie Stadium last year, can really throw the ball. Cole McDonald, 3,151 yards and 26 touchdowns. It's going to be quite a challenge for the Army defense. And so we had a chance to talk with several of the Army players and with Army head coach Jeff Monken. And it's Ken Kraetzer for Sons of American Legion Radio. We're at West Point. I have a chance to talk with Army offensive lineman Guard Jaxson Deaton. Wearing the Ranger jersey today. Jackson, good to see you. How's practice this week so far?
Practice has been going good. Hawaii runs a defense we're pretty familiar with. We're just getting good reps in. The speed of practice is going really well. The intensity is great, and just overall, just a great performance so far.
Well, you played Hawaii here at Michie Stadium last year, came away with a win against a very good team. What was the key for that win in your mind?
We talked about it today in offensive meetings, but we got a lot of third down conversions. We got a lot of fourth down conversions. We kept drives alive, and that was a key to the game. We were able to sustain drives, keep their offense off the field. They have a really good offense, very explosive. Their defense plays very hard, but in crunch time, we were able to get those third downs, sustain drives, and give them as least amount of time as possible, and they almost scored on their last drive. So it's going to be a good game, really close game, and they're a tough team.
Absolutely. Now, this year there have been a lot of movement in the offensive line. You've started to get more consistency the last couple of games. How has it been this year? Just some of the keys in being able to work with new teammates and help them through the process.
I mean, this is the most depth we've ever had on the offensive line since I've been here. We have about 8 to 10 guys that can rotate and play in the game, and we're comfortable with it. It's been a learning experience. We have young guys. Dean Powell really stepped up. Noah Knapp has really stepped up in a big way since the Air Force game, playing center. And it's just interesting going in to the new lineups. But the mob is a really tight-knit group, so we don't really we don't sweat much whenever we had to put someone else in. We have a next man up mentality. The twos practice like ones. The ones practice to keep their spot because they know if they slack off, a two can take their job.
So now, Jackson, remind me of the town in Texas you're from?
I'm from Frisco, Texas.
Very good. And we talked a little bit about branch night and your selection. Tell us about the branch of the Army you're heading to.
So I'm going to field artillery, hopefully go to Killeen, Texas, Fort Hood in the spring, find that out. But, it's been something I've wanted for a really long time. I really like the branch. I think it's a really cool branch, being able to fire artillery, provide fire support for the infantry, and just everything. And, all the officers I've met that are field artillery officers are great dudes and great gals. So just being able to be part of that is an honor.
Well, my dad and my uncle commissioned at Fort Sill in October of 1942, and they'd be proud that you're going to follow in their footsteps out there, both World War II Army officers. And what's the best thing about being a senior here at West Point with graduation just months away?
So, in honesty, it's the leadership opportunities. It's able to grow as a leader, and finally you've been through all the development, you've been through all the training, and finally you get to use it, and you have people looking up to you for leadership. And I think that's one of the coolest things of being a senior is having people look up to you like, what do we need to do? And you actually have that training, that knowledge to present those people with leadership. So I think that's one of the best things is just being able to be a leader and have people look up to you and be able to make an impact on people.
Wow, Jaxson Deaton, it's great to have a chance to chat. Just final thought about heading out to Hawaii, a very important game for you out there next week, next Saturday night in Hawaii.
Yes, sir. It's going to be a great game. We're excited. We're excited for the trip out to Hawaii. It's a beautiful place. I've never been before, but it's all business. We're excited to go play them. It's going to be a great game.
I'm sure you have a few soldiers from Schofield Barracks at the game watching you, rooting you on. Jaxson Deaton, great to see you, and really best wishes from everybody at the American Legion on football and also your career in the U.S. Army.
Thank you, sir.
Our pledge is Ken Kraetzer for Sons of American Legion Radio at West Point. And it's Ken Kraetzer for Sons of American Legion Radio. We're at West Point. The Army football team heads out to Hawaii tomorrow to play the Warriors. And we have a chance to talk with the Army center, and that is Noah Knapp. Noah, good to see you. How's this practice week been going for you?
It's been good. We've been getting some guys back. We have a lot more depth this week. It's been good just getting extra reps. This extra week of practice is really going to help us going into the game this week.
Very good. Now, you've been playing a critical role. You've moved into the center spot. There have been a number of players there this year. What has it been like for you to play a really important position on the Army football team?
It's been a great experience. Put a lot of work in. I was talking today, we were talking and saying we have a lot of guys that can play center. We just want, me and Peyton are battling it out right now, so it's whoever's the best, whoever's going to get the team to win. That's all we really care about. It's really pretty selfless.
Very good. Now tell us where you're from. Where'd you go to high school?
Okay, I'm from Virginia Beach, Virginia. I graduated from Bishop Sullivan Catholic.
Very good. I was just down there with all the Navy guys down in August for retirements there. That's a neat town. Now tell us a little bit now, how has it been getting through freshman year here, getting through all the challenges they throw at you here at West Point?
It's good now. I'm in my yuck year now, so it's a lot better than freshman year for sure. Once you get past that first year, it becomes a little bit more not relaxed, but more comfortable, I would say. You start to just get a groove for what daily life is like here at the academy.
Very good. No, getting through freshman year here is such a challenge. We see that and respect the effort so much. Now, tell us what academic area are you studying?
I just changed my major last week to law, so I'm going to be a law dog.
Okay, so maybe a legal future.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay, well, great. What is the key for you? The center position in an option running offense is so important, and you brought stability to the offensive line since you've been playing regularly. What is just the key for you in getting set, bringing the team up to the line of scrimmage, and helping getting the plays started?
I think the biggest thing for us has just been communication. We call ourselves a mob, so we play 5 like 1. We got to be one moving unit, just moving people off the line of scrimmage. But I think communication's really helped us a lot. So when we go and address the ball, we're calling out people, where we're going, what kind of block we're going to do, all that extra stuff. So I think that's helped us a lot this year.
Okay, very good. Now, have you been to Hawaii before?
I've never been to Hawaii, no sir. So I'm looking forward to it.
Well, it should be a great trip. Any keys for preparing for this game that you're thinking about?
For me personally, just trying to get better every day. Trying to become a better leader for the mob and for the team. So looking forward to this weekend and beat Hawaii.
Absolutely. Noah Knapp, great to meet you. And, you've really been having a great season at center. And just best wishes from everybody at the American Legion. Good to meet you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your support.
Hey, good to see you. This is Ken Kraetzer for Sons American Legion Radio at West Point. It's Ken Kraetzer at West Point for Sons American Legion Radio. Army football practice team heads to Hawaii tomorrow to play the Warriors Saturday night. Have a chance to talk with Army senior offensive lineman Alex Herndon. Alex, a lot of energy, a lot of enthusiasm in that practice today. How'd it go?
I thought the practice went really well. We got a lot done. Our pad level got a lot better, and then that last little bit at the end was really enthusiastic, so it was really good to see.
Very good. Now tell us a little bit about your season. You've been in and out of the lineup, dealing with injuries, and how just describe a little bit of the flow of your season.
Every season's gonna have its ups and downs. Started out really good, and then started to have a couple injuries here and there, and kind of slid back a little bit. But I've just been fighting through it, been going to treatment, and really just trying to fight back in the lineup and everything like that. So. Yeah.
Very good. Well, you've been a mainstay at tackle for Army. Tell us about some of the key games, some of the games that really stick out in your memory.
Let's see. Starting out, the first game of the season was good to get that win. It was the first start for me personally, so it was good to just get out there and just realize that I'm able to play and I can do it. So that was really good. Another one that really stuck out was this past game, VMI. I thought we had a really, really good game as an offense, and it was really just good to see a bunch of people playing, a bunch of young guys playing, getting their first time playing in a college game. So that was really awesome to see that too.
Yeah, 594 yards of rushing. That was pretty good. Alex, just tell our audience again where you're from, where you go to high school.
So I'm from Savannah, Georgia. I went to Calvary Day School down in Savannah, Georgia.
Very good. Now tell us what's your academic study here at West Point?
Operations research. So it's data analysis, some data science, stuff like that, machine learning, a lot of math. So.
Okay. Well, you're still working on your area of the Army you're going to go to, but is there an area in the Army that you'd eventually like to be assigned to?
Absolutely. Field artillery right now is definitely what I want to be assigned to. So.
Well, your line mate Jaxson Deaton said in there, and Cole Christensen. My dad was a field artillery officer in the Army. What are you telling the younger players about preparing for this very important game at Hawaii on Saturday night?
Just to stay the course, try to stay focused. It's going to be tough, especially with the time change, everything going out there. So just being able to be professional about it and be able to adjust to that time change is be mentally tough. Biggest thing, probably.
Very good. Alex Herndon, offensive lineman for the Army football team. Great to see you, and great to see you wearing that Ranger jersey.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Our pleasure. This is Ken Kraetzer for Sons of the American Legion Radio at West Point. And it's Ken Kraetzer for Sons of the American Legion Radio at West Point. Army is getting ready to travel to warmer climates, but we have a chance to talk with Army senior Zach Potter, who's had a terrific year as the Army punter, wearing the Ranger jersey today. Zach, tell us a little bit how's practice today. How's it getting ready in cold weather to go out to Hawaii?
We're real excited to head out to Hawaii. It's been cold up here last couple of weeks, but I mean, we're just ready to head down to the islands and play some football, you know.
Absolutely. Now, tell us a little bit about your season. You've had some big moments punting the ball for Army. You had a big kick out at Michigan. Tell us about some of the key moments of the year for you.
Some key moments. Michigan was exciting. I love playing in those big games, especially with my team. But, I mean, most exciting moments this year, definitely winning each game with my team. Personally, I just like being around the guys, and that's what's most exciting to me.
Absolutely. Now, first, tell us where you're from and where'd you go to high school?
I'm from Terre Haute, Indiana, and I went to Terre Haute North Vigo High School.
That's great. We're with the American Legion. That's where our headquarters is, out in Indianapolis. Tell us a little bit about what have been some of the challenges you've overcome at West Point academically, just learning to manage time. It's such a challenge to get through West Point.
It's definitely a challenge coming here. Academically, it's tough. Managing your time with academics and football, it's not the easiest thing, but having the guys around you, especially the football team, we learn how to help each other out along the way, and that's what's helped us get through it all.
Absolutely. What's your academic major?
Law and legal studies with a nuclear engineering track.
Wow, that's an interesting sidebar, nuclear engineering. Why did you pick that? That's an interesting field.
Yes, it's interesting, but I don't know. I was kind of curious about it all and went ahead and picked it.
Well, you had the opportunity here. Good for you for trying something important like that. Now, you told me about your branch of the Army that you were handed an envelope for last week at branch night. Tell us about your choice and your selection for the Army branch.
Yes, I opened up my envelope and I received infantry. It's something I've always had desire to do. I have a lot of teammates going into the infantry, so that should be exciting. I'm just looking forward to the future and serving alongside some of my brothers.
Well, absolutely great choice and way to serve in the U.S. Army, going infantry. That's where they say all the top leaders in the Army come from infantry.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Hey, tell us a little bit about your punting style and what are the keys for somebody who's a punter in high school? What's the key to be a great punter in college football?
Oh, I mean, my punting style, I've took over the position as a sting punter, so once the ball gets to the 50 and in, I'd usually go in and try to coffin corner down the ball inside the 10. That's the objective. But to be a good punter in college, it's just you got to work hard, lift a lot, get strong, a lot of repetitions.
Okay. Well, Zach Potter, really congratulations on your career here at West Point. You got 2 big games left to go, and we'll look forward to watching you out in warm weather in Hawaii.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, and best wishes from everybody at the American Legion. This is Ken Kraetzer for Sons of the American Legion Radio at West Point. And it's Ken Kraetzer for Sons of American Legion Radio. I have a chance to chat with Army head football coach Jeff Monken. And Coach, looked like a pretty high energy practice. How'd it go? What are you working on this week?
I think the guys have done a good job, and we've got 2 weeks to get ready for this next game. So it's just nice to be able to get the game plan in early and have some extra days to work on it. And like I said, I think the guys are working hard. They know this is a big game for us, a lot at stake. So hopefully we'll be prepared, and it's going to take these practices to get us ready.
Well, we talked a little bit after the game Saturday about what a good passing team Hawaii is. Cole McDonald, we saw him here last year. I think he's got over 60 touchdown passes in his career. They're throwing for 350 yards, I think it is, per game. What is it? It's a big challenge for your defense. How are you preparing for that?
That is a big challenge. You throw those stats at me there, Ken. That's he is outstanding, and he's got a great supporting cast, a really good offensive line. They're running the ball effectively, and those receivers. There's so many of those guys, and they're fast, and they're all different. They have all got they've all seemed to have this knack for doing some things within the offense that they're really good at. So it's a challenge. It's a challenge to simulate the offense, and it's a challenge to just be able to cover all those guys and be where you need to be and put enough pressure on the quarterback that he's got to throw it on time. So it's going to be a tough football game, but hopefully John will have a good plan. I'm sure he and the staff are going to look at every bit of film we've got and have a plan that our guys can execute. And John's a smart football coach and will do a really good job, and it's just giving those guys things that they can handle and they can do. So the key is going to be being assignment sound and executing the defense and doing a great job of, just as I said, putting enough pressure on them. They've got to throw it on time and being in position to defend some of those footballs.
And Coach, just coming off of 2 solid wins where you scored a lot of points, you only gave up, I think, 15 points in the 2 games. How do you feel that sets up the team for these 2?
Anything to do with the next. They're all very independent of each other, depending obviously on the opponent. And what UMass did was different from VMI, and what VMI does is different from Hawaii, and what Hawaii does is different from the game after that. So we just got to prepare for this one. We know it's going to be a real challenge. They're a very physical, very athletic football team, a very good football team, and very well coached. So they're, if there's any proof needed, they're playing for the Mountain West Conference Championship game. So San Diego State and Hawaii are squaring off this Saturday, and the winner of the game is going to go to the championship game. So that tells you they've been in the hunt all year and done a really good job, and I can't say enough for what Nick Rolovich has done with that program out there.
How is it logistically getting there, getting the team ready for long plane flight, and you can't take your truck out there, I guess, this time. How is it just preparing for a long travel trip?
The trip is a challenge. It's a long flight. We're gonna fly to the West Coast. We'll stop to refuel the airplane, get the guys off the airplane, and let them get a little bit of exercise just moving around, and then fly the rest of the way to Hawaii. And it's going to be 12 or 13 hours total in travel. And by the time we get there on Tuesday night, it's going to be, I guess, middle of the night here. So we've got to, we got to be very conscious of that. Give our guys the rest that they need, and when we arrive, and then get to work and getting prepared for Hawaii. We really wanted to get out there early so that we could acclimate both to the time change and to the weather. And we looked at it both ways, going out there late or going out there early, and we just felt like going out there early was going to give us the best chance.
So it makes sense. And, it's another time, a chance to go visit an Army base. You got Schofield Barracks there, a big Army facility out in Hawaii. I'm sure you'll have a lot of soldiers and officers from Schofield Barracks at the game Saturday.
Oh, I hope we will, and I hope they'll come out and support our team, and it's always great to be at a place where we feel like we've got an Army hometown team there, and much like when we travel to Texas, there's a lot of Army bases there, and even when we go out to Colorado Springs, Fort Carson right there. So there are, as I understood when I lived there, 13 military bases in the state of Hawaii. So not all Army, but a lot of Army personnel there, and Thanksgiving weekend. So hopefully maybe they'll want to have a little fun and spend the Thanksgiving weekend with us and cheer us on. We certainly can use the help. That's a tough place to play. Hawaii's got great fans, and we could sure use the help out there.
Well, it's really very historic Navy base, Pearl Harbor. I've been there a couple of times, and just a very special historic place in American history. But also the presence of the Army. A lot of soldiers go from there to Asia. So Jeff Monken, great to see you, and great to watch the team getting set for the trip to Hawaii.
Thanks a lot, Ken.
Our pleasure. This is Ken Kraetzer for Sons of American Legion Radio out west. So it's going to be an interesting challenge for Army at Hawaii. Hopefully a lot of soldiers will come out to the game from Schofield Barracks and 25th Infantry Division and out to see the Army football team play. Coach Monken talked about how much he appreciates when the soldiers at the bases nearby to where the games are come out to watch the team play. So that's Saturday night. You can watch the game on the CBS Sports Network. For Sons of the American Legion Radio, representing the 2 million veterans of the American Legion, this is Ken Kraetzer at the United States Military Academy.